Max and Naples, yeah. Max, 6 people. Yeah. You can't open that door because it's.
And as we go, we've got some great new things going on in the garden today, not just these seasonal things, but if you take this pathway to the right up, you'll see we've got some planting, there's a little pathway going through. This is a new type of rose collection, so original roses, so you might want to go through there and have a look at those roses, and that will lead you on to the rose garden itself, so that would be absolutely fabulous, so I would recommend that to you. This is a Mark Quinn stainless steel sculpture of an orchid. He came here and basically I think all his sculptures are various types of orchids, they're all plants. Mark came here and did that. He just liked what we were doing. He's a nice chap, he's been on the train. So we go south, you're going to see quite a few follies. That's a folly, that little building to the right hand side. And follies are buildings without a purpose really, but set to look nice. That one dates from 1760s, our oldest. And we go further, this is Camellia Walk, named for the camellias that are mostly on the left-hand side. You've possibly seen these quite a lot. They grow in many local gardens. You might have some camellias in your garden. But did you know when you drink PG Tips or Sainsbury's Red Label or anything like that, that's what you're drinking, a camellia leaf? Okay, we've got the berberis still to our right now. Berberis is a berry. It's a little bit hard to grow actually in this country because farmers don't like it. It reacts with grain, so it's not good next to farmland, but we can plant it here. And it's called lemons from heaven, the ground up type of the berry from the berberis. And can be used to season food. Now you might notice we're climbing. And this is a bit of landscape work because the queue should be completely flat. Before it was landscaped, it was flat. And what's beside us now is the new winter garden on the right. And this is its second year and the winter garden. Let's see, family seats, some benches there, or at least I thought I saw one. Things have been disappearing today. But the winter garden, second year, and we'll develop a bit more. It's on a little incline, so if you look as we go around you'll see the incline, and it's great if you go up there are benches to sit on and have a bit of a view. So that's to our right. To our left is a pathway that leads to the two art galleries. They're closed now, but if you haven't seen them, the next time you come back you might want to go to both of them. You can see them quickly or as slowly as you wish. Also hidden beside one of the art galleries is a fabulous American ironwood tree. They're quite fab. We have a few of them in the gardens, but not too many. There's one in the Duke's garden has a big ironwood as well. That's if they haven't chopped it down since the last time I was there, because today I found two of my favourite trees chopped down. A bit of chopping down goes on from time to time. We have 14,000 trees, and we plant quite often. So as we go along, I'm going to show you some outdoor things more than indoor things. And some of our outdoor things will be the Mark Quinn sculptures, which is quite a lot around the garden, and you'll see some to both sides of the train as we come up towards the Temperate House. And the Temperate House, which is closed now but is the biggest and best Victorian glass house in the world. You see the windows are open because our temperature is very temperate, and actually is for most of the year. Crossing one of our three vistas, this is the Pagoda Vista, goes from the, remember to start giving us a wave, that's very nice, from the pagoda to the Palm House. Here we come, and as we go round, coming in front of the Temperate House, and then we are going to turn again and It's a little sort of slow hairpin bend, and as we turn again, we're heading down towards the first of our stops and a great view of the Mark Quinn statues or sculptures. As we come down, we've got two very muscly elm trees to the right, crossing the pagoda vista again. So you'll see the pagoda, it's going to disappear and reappear for the next bit. We'll talk about it when we get closer to it. But we're coming to our first stop, which is it's for the art galleries and temple houses, which are closed. We can go up and see the sculptures, and also for the Pavilion restaurant, which remains open and is just ahead of
cooling down here. You're alright, Mum. Tired.
Right, here we go. So coming up, they've got the restaurant here. This is the third one on the spot. The first one was a beautiful wooden tea house burnt down by suffragettes in 1913. They wanted votes for women. They got lots of publicity, but they didn't get votes for women. And there was a lot of objection to women asking for rights. Okay, and as we're going a bit further down, we're going to show you something we haven't been able to show you till quite lately, for a long time, and that's the ruined arch on the left, and it'll appear behind the trees. The ruined arch was built by Princess Augusta. It's another folly, but it's been restored again lately. I mean, in an earlier restoration they found there were priceless artefacts built into it. It was actually built as a ruin. They were quite sturdy, as it had a purpose, and that was to act as a bridge across the Kew Road, so that the king's sheep, because this was the king's house or royal property, the sheep belonging to the royal family could go across to pasture over the road, and the local sheep could come over to pasture over here. So that's was all of that. So heading south again, and the lights are because of our local fairies and local plays, and we're up to something. We're always up to something all summer.
Someone pressed the emergency button. They want to leave.
When we first came in, I thought, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going down to when we will see the pagoda. It's going to appear and reappear, but when the Chinese does, so we have actually lots of juniper trees here. Which juniper, if you like gin, it's a component of gin. Lots of different berries and seeds, and we collect seeds for our seed bank at Wakehurst. Actually, if you've ever been to Wakehurst, it's very different here than here. It's very hilly, lots of trees, not many flowers. A big old Elizabethan building, rather wrecked, and the most fantastic seed bank in the world, which is underground and intended to be not only bomb-proof, but proof against a 747 crashing into it. And it's sub-zero temperature, so you won't be able to go in, but it's very futuristic, and they're at Wakehurst. Wakehurst is bigger than here. Okay, we're coming up to a turn, because this is as far south as we can go. If we carried on going, we'll be amongst a group of men who wanted to be able to play rugby. There we go, swinging around at the Lion Gate and heading for the pagoda, which is going to reappear. The best views of the pagoda are after we pull away from it. And today we've had an aeroplane every minute to be photographed with it, if you so wish.
You know, when you came to find me, she walked past us.
Oh, Auntie, there's a tower. I've never seen that tower.
I
think it's called the Pagoda House. Yeah, we just looked into there. You can actually climb the stairs, but it's very long. Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, you will get good views of the pagoda coming back. It's a 10-storey building, dates from 1672, built by William Chambers for the Princess of Wales, Princess Augusta, and was lately renovated to be put back to the original colour, these deep greens and lovely creamy pinks, and have the 80 dragons reinstalled. It is closed for the day now, but we open it for short spells during the summer, and you need a morning really while you're still fresh and good to climb all the steps to the top. Bit during the day. When they're over Kew Gardens, they're over one bit of it half the day and over the other bit of the other half the day. Just to sort of give everybody down here a bit of a, well, we still hear them, but if they're over you for half the day, they're not for the other. And there's another Mark Quinn piece. The red piece is the only one I think that's not coloured the metal. And then you'll just see the Japanese garden appearing. So it's around the gateway of the Imperial Messenger, which was a gift to us in 1910, I think. And the garden is all about it. There are sorbus, holly and hickory trees are hiding it from you. But I have to say all our trees look good this year. The sorbus looks lovely. So hickory's great. I think it's because we haven't had those burning days that we've had in other years, or at least we've had a few, but not so many, and we've had plenty of rain, which is quite good, and saving our lawns and our trees and stuff like that. Okay. We're leaving the Kew Garden now and we're coming into the Richmond Garden.
What garden are we in now?
Garden, growing plants for health reasons and also for making it really pretty. And Princess Augusta did that, but she didn't ever own this bit of the garden. This was owned by her father-in-law, King George II, and then it passed to her son, King George III. And he was known as Farmer George. He bred sheep here, and he grew up with sheep all around him, so he bred them. He was interested in different farming methods. He was interested in animals we haven't seen. He brought kangaroos and big cats here. He brought zebras here, so he was very interested in having a look at what was going on. And obviously chatted to them very nicely. We don't hear about any of the zebras getting eaten by the big cats. They all seem to get along in harmony, but perhaps King George was a bit harmonious. He was a very nice man, and he married Charlotte. They married and met the same day, and then they had 15 children. And he was a very nice king. He married a girl with no money and no family power. And people said, "Well, you're doing that, you're King of England." And he said, "Yes, and my wife is the Queen of England." So he was a very nice bloke. He gave Charlotte lots of presents, and also 15 children, but they had a very harmonious family life. And people said they'd never seen such a devoted family and how devoted the daughters were to Dad. So that was really nice as he became ill in his old age. And the Japanese planting trees around us here, and many, many acres to the left. If you go for a walk later, many acres there and very wild. But we're coming up to our redwoods now, so I'm going to tell you about them because we've got a brick circle in the ground, and the lead carriage is just going to go over a brick circle, and that tells you, if you look down, this is how big an average adult American redwood is. And once you're off the brick circle, behind the rope on your right is our biggest redwood, a bit of sunshine on it, surrounded by other redwoods. And you can see our redwoods are very much smaller, and that's because they're baby trees there. Up to the biggest one's about 150 years old, and the others are a bit younger, but all over 100. So they've got a long way to go yet. We've got some yew trees planted beside them, Japanese umbrella trees opposite them.
Compared to wasn't that the way we're going is a pond.
Now we're we come out to the water lily pond, you'll see some interesting leaves on the trees. These are ginkgo bilobas. The hairy, big, tall, hairy looking trees beside the pond are dawn redwoods. They're related to the American redwoods, but these are Chinese redwoods. As we go along into the pine tree area, we have in front of us our copper our constabulary. We have the smallest and oldest constabulary in the country here at Kew. They're waiting patiently for let us go by. We just had a blackbird of some description hop by in front of us. They're both on the right now. It was quite funny. Got a bird playing chicken with the carp. It was quite funny. Pine trees, we've got one leaning away from us on the right. That's a maritime pine, also known as a Corsican pine.
It's a police car.
It's our cops giving us a wave. They're usually very friendly. There we go.
Response team. It's taking a U-turn. It was a woman.
The silvery looking tree to the right is a lacebell pine, and here we're stopping for the science park. Okay, wave to the human beings using the picnic table. This was not built as a picnic table, it was built, but you can use them if you wish to. As we go further down, we have
Oh, deep flowers. Flowers.
as we go further down,
More flowers.
this area beside us is deliberately wild. Immediately next to us is an acid field, very good for insects, including ants. We need our insects. If we didn't have insects, we would be dead. So don't go, and most of them mind their own business. Keep being told, oh, there's a wasp. Well, it's going from X to Y and it's minding its own business, so leave it alone. So we need them. If we kill insects, we will die. It's that easy. So the reason this is very wild behind us is all this land was given to us by Queen Victoria, and she gave that bit last, and she said, leave it alone. So we did. She was, the royal family was very keen on gardening and horticulture and farming, and Queen Victoria had some very good ideas, and so did her father, and well, not her dad, she never met him. So did her granddad and great granddad. They were like, the land is very important, and it is. This is the Thames. If you're facing backwards, you win. You also back to Richmond. Over the river, Sign House, the name of this vista going down, Sign Vista. There's the pond with an aeroplane coming over it, as usual. This is the lake. All our water areas have different names. This one's the lake, there's 5 acres of it, and it's fed from the Thames at high tide. All our water features, and not the drinking water, of course, that's not the Thames. And this couple are looking at an American red oak. There you go. And as we go along, lots and lots of oak trees. This is the diverse and foreign oak section. So some of these oak trees, I may have once got leaves that look like a bit like a peach. They don't all look like oaks. And if you want to know if it's definitely an oak, you read the label and it will say Quercus. Quercus is the Latin for oak. So when it comes to plants, there's lots of things in Latin. And also in medicine, lots of things in Latin. So it's a nice little language. We'd like to reinvigorate it, we think. Me and the driver were discussing languages, and Welsh and Latin were topics of conversation today. So here we go, and we're going to swing around by the river, swinging through this Fulham oak, which is a hybrid, around by the river. If we were to take the pathway to the right, we go into the rhododendron dell. One of these days we're going to try it, but there's people wonder if we get out because it's a bit of a heavy train and that's a bit of a big hole. The hole was dug out under the orders of the king in the 1700s, and the Staffordshire Regiment did the digging with picks and shovels. They didn't have diggers then because it was the 1700s, and the guy who designed it was called Capability Bell. He was a very capable man. He used to make landowners part with their money, and he didn't do any digging and he didn't do any measuring. He just made them part with their money and sent them the bill. This is the job roof. It's a thatch roof. That's a minka. And Minka is a Japanese house,
Go back
and
to the
the Japanese society gave this one to us because they want to preserve these old-fashioned farmhouses that were made to be earthquake-proof. They want to preserve them, so they give them away to people who've got a bit of room for them. Quite a deep hole, as you will see. The earth was piled up where we were, the Thames was pushed back. So all that happened in the 1700s.
Oh, I see. It's
Making the Thames here deeper and shallow, deeper. Bamboo, other plants such as strawberry trees. So it's good to go and have a look and see what's there. And go to Minka, which is actually one of our few buildings that is open when nobody's just twacking our roof. To the right, some pear trees, they're birch trees, and then quite a big, not the biggest, but quite a big weeping beech tree. Very nice. And we're going to see my favourite tree in the whole gardens in a minute, so I start to get a bit excited. Like a bedbug sensing a human. Here we go.
They're turning right now. No one's
Gate and
answering,
car
no
park.
one's leaving.
Okay, we're all staying on. Chug chug. You do, don't you? I can see you. Yeah, I know, I do. But actually, if you look out the left-hand side, if you like the Harry Potter films, we're going to go a bit slow because we've got a train coming in the other direction. If you like the Harry Potter films, there's a star of the Harry Potter films out the left-hand side, and that's a tree. Now, our tree is a... Ooh, we've got a lot of trucks coming towards us. It's total gridlock, but we've got time to look at this big... And here's another Mr. Jones.
But this one's the big one.
There we go.
The
We
one
should
we're
have
on
Jones
is the big
Adventure on
one.
in there, shouldn't he? Here's Jones, the wedding guy. How do you find a spy in Wales?
They came
Wales for
from
the house
Kew
of Jones the
Gardens.
spy.
Kew Gardens.
Okay. Right, we're going alongside the... And it's aimed at younger children. We have various ones in the garden. But because of their fast growing and sturdiness, some parts of the world are cutting down their own trees to plant these. Never a good idea really to do a lot of switching of indigenous trees. Right, we're just going to have a little word with somebody. Okay, there we go. We've had our little... The best Chinese poplar in the United Kingdom. Here, see a tree with a blue label? They're the best of their species in the UK. That's one of them. We have over 300 blue label trees.
You know what it is? Bye-bye. That's a mirror.
Yeah, but I know. Loads of books.
So we did it at South Norwood Festival. They got somebody there from it's like a country park in South Norwood, and they got somebody there with some schools and things. So we were looking at.
When we get back. Now, this is where the children's gone. And everything else is closed because even the restaurant's closed because we're going to have a wedding. We have lots of weddings here at Kew, and they're quite good fun. So this is Elizabeth Gate. If you want to do Elizabeth Gate, this
Who
will be
wants
the
to?
one.
Who wants to come? People can come in, you know.
Nice.
Oh, there's a truck.
Yeah, there's so much in there. Yeah. And then of course different times of year.
Why don't
Okay, we're turning round onto the boardwalk now. This is the longest elevations border in the country. Look, they're setting up for our wedding. And there goes the flower arrangement.
we finally here? We are almost at the end.
Weddings don't have to be expensive,
This is the
ladies and
long
gentlemen. They
one.
really don't.
It's
My
gonna
friend
be-
had
it's
a register of his wedding, then sandwiches and tea back in her house. And let me tell you, that
I
was
just like
like
the cute
40
one.
years ago, bit more. Still happily married. There you go. Mind you, they paid for the daughter's wedding recently. She didn't follow their example, but there you go. At least they had the money for it because they didn't pay for the road. Right, there we go. Coming down the boardwalk.
Walking faster
The
than the
earliest part of this garden to be cultivated is the bit over to the left. And the princess who cultivated it, she lived back by the palace. Now, ended her days in the palace, but she started with 9 acres and planted physic plants, so plants for health. And then people came to help her because her garden was mostly grass and gorse and sheep. And she left the sheep, but she made it as beautiful as possible. Now, as we go down here, we've got different plants in family groups going down here. The little pyramid-shaped trees are yew trees, and each of the benches has a grass. The hive back there on the left, that big sculpture by Wolfgang Buttress, if you climb up there, you get a good view over the gardens to the left of us, and it really is nice. Oh, we've got some nice human beings. So over to the left, and also over to the left of the lovely purple beech, that little tree with the great fabulous brown branches and trunks is a paper bark maple, and that's my favourite one in the garden of that species. And you just see some of the glass house of Princess of Wales Conservatory now closed. The weeping beech is coming up on the left. These artichokes by this set of benches, that's a grass, an artichoke. You can actually smell them, they do have a scent. They'll be left to rot, the artichokes, that's the gardeners always leave them to rot. You have to remember this garden, the gardeners are not meant to make it pretty, that's not their objective. They do some pretty bits for us, but they've got a different objective, which is horticulture and biodiversity. So we go down. You could, if you go off to the left and walk around the outside of the Princess of Wales Conservatory, you'll find the rock garden. You'll find the with a folly on the top, and that folly is dedicated to the god of the winds. So we're just going around here and going around the pond now. So I have to go around the pond. And oasis for birds.
I didn't see the dot.
Past 2 tulip trees, and the lead carriage is now going under a northern pin oak. I love the very staccato looks of the leaves on the northern pin oak. So it's great to have a look at that. Coming round, if you're looking for handkerchief trees, if you took a walk off to the left of where the lead carriage is now, past the front of the smallest house there, the water lily house, if you did that, you would find handkerchief trees in a row along there.
Very fun ride.
The palm house here, and in front of the palm house, I suspect this one. In front of the palm house, the Queen's beasts. Now I got something. And the Queen's beasts were Queen Elizabeth's beasts. Okay, so we just have to watch out, we've got people around here. Get to the big Mark Quinn pieces. And the Queen's beasts, if you want to have a look at them, so we've got secrets, there's a notice beside each one telling you more about it. You've got the lions here, different birds and lions and beasts, some mythical, some real. I mean, there is such a thing as a lion. There isn't a Yale, but we've got the gold-spotted Yale of Beaufort
That's the
coming
green.
up.
I've been over there too.
And it's here with the horns, it's the second from the end, it's after the
But
dragon.
if you go
Welsh
up
dragon,
again,
it's not least mythical too. Keep thinking there really are dragons. Dragons, Yale, and then the white greyhound of Richmond, the symbol of Henry VII. And Richmond, that's Richmond in Yorkshire. So there we go, just tuning into our last stop. Now we have one more visit, one more trip this evening. Last trip this evening will be the 8 o'clock train will go out, the very last one. So that one now, just going slowly because we have human beings in front of us.
Just realized the top of the trees are
So we're still moving, still moving, still moving, still moving. There we go. And in we come.
We're back.